This podcast is part of the Heartifact Podcast Network. For more of this and our other podcasts, head to heartifactstudios.com.au.
Welcome back to StrayaMania. It's the only wrestling podcast called StrayaMania. My host, Ricki, is always joined by David Yang.
Good moment, yeet.
How
Big week. Great. Dude, I'm honestly...
Big week.
I'm still feeling that post-Mania hype, man. I'm rolling with it.
Yeah. That's
to
why
me, they haven't let the festivities stop yet.
Well, that's the beauty of doing the Superstar Shake-Up a week after, because it kind of keeps the intrigue going. It makes it much must-watch television for at least another week.
But it's always a state of limbo up until the very next pay-per-view, right? Because I imagine they're going to be doing a lot of that now, especially with what we saw on SmackDown today. There's going to be still Raw and SmackDown guys jumping and starting feuds across both brands, and it'll end at the next pay-per-view. That's the brilliance of this post-Mania section of WWE, and they keep the festivities running. But the next pay-per-view isn't until Money in the Bank? Late May?
Hang on, I'm looking it up now. I think it is...
I don't know. I think they pushed the Saudi show.
The Saudi show has been moved around. Hang on, I'm just having a look.
But there's nothing in May. Now, if it's any longer than that, then I can see it becoming a problem of this limbo going too long.
Money in the Bank, apparently May 19th.
Okay. Well, that's good. Then if anything, that's perfect. You get a month of just some of the superstars having feuds between both shows until it all resolves, and then whoever leaves Money in the Bank with X wins is solidified to their brand. We'll touch more on that in a moment.
Yeah, it kind of does feel like they set up something really cool with Finn and Andrade, and then they've basically undone that.
Yeah. Well, then they also set up something really cool with Samoa Joe and Braun last week.
And that's
done nothing.
No, that didn't pay off at all.
Right.
But then I think with Finn coming over, obviously you heard about Samoa Joe couldn't make it because he got the flu.
No, I didn't actually.
Okay,
oh, shit.
So he was supposed to be...
Well, maybe he was meant to jump to Raw.
I think he was. I think he was supposed to be part of the Raw taping. I think because it was in the same venue both nights.
Yeah.
I think all superstars were at all shows this weekend.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them didn't have any idea when they were getting if they were getting traded or not. Because a lot of that they like to keep relatively up until like the hour of the show going to air. They're like, oh, by the way, you're going here, you're going here, you're going here.
I love that. It's very sporty.
It is.
That's the best part.
It is. But also I feel like this is all of a sudden a massive disruption to these people's lives.
Yeah, but imagine if you're an athlete.
Yeah, I know.
Like, how many times have you been...
But that's trading in the off-season, where like you have like months to like move your entire life to a different city and shit.
No, they do it mid-season too. Have you not heard all the stories from the NBA?
Sometimes I'm more like AFL and that sort of shit.
Okay.
But I know it is a big thing in American sport, mid-season trades and that sort of shit. But like this for me is like, it's not a bigger deal because like it's really just Monday or Tuesday. So it's not, but then it's the live show. So you're like, the Raw run is like you'll do Raw, and then your house shows are I think Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And if you're on SmackDown, you do Tuesday, and then your house shows are Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or something like that. So it does sort of move your life around a little bit. But whatever, all people were in attendance for both shows. I think the idea with Samoa Joe was because like obviously Finn is across on SmackDown with the IC title, which to me, usually the mid-card belts usually trade. You're not going to have both mid-card belts on one.
Well, that was the big
show.
thing. And that's what we were going to talk about just now, I guess, is because Finn's moved over with the IC belt, and we haven't seen a Joe move, right now, they both exist on SmackDown.
Yes.
But that's what I'm getting at.
It could be as simple as like a tweet. Because they did that for both shows.
It could be, yeah.
There was people announced, I think like Liv Morgan has been split up from the Right Squad. She's now on SmackDown.
What?
Yeah. It was literally in a tweet after SmackDown went off air that Chad Gable, I think Apollo Crews as well, have all been moved to SmackDown.
No. Well, they've also broken up Bayley and Sasha because Bayley's come out and said she's a singles competitor since the move.
But then she got...
Sasha is up in the air.
Yeah, that whole situation is interesting because, like, obviously I don't think we touched on it much last week after like coming out of Mania because we weren't too sure what the goal was. But since then, there's been a lot of news about Sasha Banks.
Yeah.
Apparently, her and Bayley had a bit of a temper tantrum after the match. I don't buy into that. I find it real hard to believe that.
I buy into it that it happened, but not to the extent it happened.
Yeah,
is what I'm getting at.
Okay, I feel you there. Yeah, I find it really hard to believe. Like, these two are professionals and they know how the business works. Titles change hands.
Yeah.
I understand from the point of view of, like, they wanted to be like the dynasty that set up the tag titles as something prestigious. And to do that, usually you need a nice big, like, 3 to 4 to 5 month run of just dominating the division before someone comes along and takes those belts off you. So I get it from that standpoint. But at the same time, it's the business. You got to move the titles on to keep them fresh, even though these are pretty fresh titles. The Iconics, I think, are a good heel tag team for a face tag team to chase. I don't know. So then all of a sudden, Banks goes off and just disappears. She goes to the fucking Dominican Republic on holiday with Kalisto.
And Dasher. I miss Dasher.
Yeah. And then doesn't show up to, like, a media appearance on, like, the day following WrestleMania. Doesn't show up to the post-WrestleMania Raw, and was not backstage this week either. So apparently they've given her some time.
Yeah, this is what Dave's... The reports currently are they've given her time.
To suss out. But apparently she wants out, and apparently so does Bayley. But like I said, these are all unsubstantiated claims, but it is very interesting that not only has she been doing that, we've had that massive crop of people about 3 months ago that all got dropped. Ty Dillinger, TJP, and Arn Anderson, I guess.
And now it seems but this is very standard of post-Mania.
Yeah, I know, standard of post-Mania, but that was pre-Mania.
Pre-Mania was a bit unprecedented, but post-Mania we expected.
Today as well, Luke Harper has requested his release as well.
Yeah. And there will be others.
There will be others.
There will be others.
Do you think it's gotten to a point where they've kind of ditched the future endeavored kind of thing they used to do, like that big exodus post-Mania where they would just fire a bunch of people? Now they just kind of like, well, maybe people are just going to start to come to us and realize that they're not getting the exposure they need or being in the storylines that they want, and they're going to just ask for their release themselves. That saves the company money because then they're just like, all right, we don't have to pay out your contract. Yeah. You guys can leave. We give you I think it's like the 90-day no compete for terminating your contract early. Because they did the weird thing with Pac or Neville, where like he didn't ask for his release. WWE didn't release him. They just let him finish his contract, whack on the 90-day no-compete on the back of that. So he was out for like over a year. Yeah. And then he pops up in fucking Dragon Gate and the whole place goes fucking nuts. But yeah, it feels like they haven't really done like a mass like future endeavoring of like half a dozen to a dozen people.
Probably for the best.
In a fair while. Maybe it's for the best. Maybe they've just
from a business perspective, it's for the best. Like you just said, they don't have to pay out anymore. But it just makes sense for the state of the company that they're in now. Like
they have a lot of talent.
They have so much. 85 superstars were booked on WrestleMania alone.
So much talent,
right? And even then,
and that
85,
and that didn't
include Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens, yeah.
Didn't include Sami Zayn.
No.
Undertaker.
No.
Like it didn't include a lot of big name guys. Yeah. Yet 85 people were on that card. Right? There's a lot of talent in WWE right now. And you are stupid if you are a lower rung competitor sitting there going, well, it's not fair that I'm not getting exposure. Like, I get it, right? But there's a reason you're a lower rung guy, because the upper guys right now are just insanely good. Right, there isn't 40 people in this company. It's not the company in the 90s anymore.
No, it's not.
Right, everyone wants to be in WWE, but at the same time, once everyone has that mentality, then no one can be in WWE. Yeah, right. That's why it's great to have the indies, right? Because then, like, it's oh my god, who was the Drew McIntyre is actually the most recent example of someone who I imagine him 5 years ago is the crop of wrestlers today, right? But he's gone and done something about it. Yeah. Right? WWE wasn't a stiff to WWE, it was no, I'm gonna come back. And he's done the indie circuit, changed who he was, built up this character, and now he's back and look what he's doing now.
Put on about 40-pound of muscle.
Yeah.
That kind of helped.
But yeah,
he was a fucking little weed when he was in
WWE. He was. Like, so you look at him and you go,
I'm sure he's not a small dude, but like now he's massive.
Yeah. Like imagine the wrestler of then. Right, saying, why aren't I being pushed? Yeah. Like, why aren't I being pushed, right? And he's done a self-assessment and gone out and changed that, right? Because he understood,
Yeah.
right? And maybe it's not a good thing that the industry promotes really big guys, right? And Drew McIntyre being now the example, Bobby Lashley being the example.
But then, Seth is the top guy right now.
And exactly, Johnny Gargano is the NXT champion.
Seth is
Kofi Kingston is the
three
WWE
guys
champion.
you would not call body guys.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
So it is interesting that like these three guys can rise to the top. Based a lot on crowd support.
Yeah.
I feel. But at the same time, the company will, gamble and back them to be like, okay, we're going to give you this chance to go and run your show or your brand or whatever. And I think three of them are going to do really, really good because they have that connection with the audience and they have that thing, that intangible that people just latch onto.
That's the thing, isn't it?
It's
the intangible.
The intangible
is
is
the one
so
thing
hard.
that no one can ever name. But when you see it, you know it.
Yeah.
Right? You look at a guy like Seth Rollins, and realistically, he's probably not the best wrestler. No. Right? They're like someone like Chad Gable could probably out wrestle him, right?
Yeah.
But there's something about Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Right? Whether it's the amalgamation of everything, the body, the wrestling, the talking, the gimmick, he's just the way he carries himself, all of that being little pieces that make up the big puzzle.
The fact he had a really, really good heel run.
Yeah, right? All of these little things, the development of a character, right? But if that's the case, then it's unfair for the littler guys because they want to develop a character, but they can't.
Don't have the chance.
Right?
Yeah.
Someone like Zack Ryder is the exception to the rule.
He has put in so much goddamn work.
And
every time he is on TV, he makes the most of his opportunities.
Yeah.
And whether or not...
Zack Ryder is very much the exception, though.
He is.
Like, he is one of those lower tier guys, much like them who are asking their releases right now. But he said, fuck off, I'm not doing that. And has gone out and he's done YouTube series. He's opened his own fucking podcast. Like, he's doing a lot of things outside of WWE to facilitate him in WWE.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't think anyone else is like that.
I mean, Woods.
They keep but Woods is already in a very top position now. He's basically the WWE champion. But Woods is very much the same, right? And now we've got Baron Corbin, Sean Spears. And fuck, there's one more. I think Prince Pretty. I think
Tyler Breeze.
Yeah, I think he's part of that. They're doing a gaming series.
Right.
On YouTube, right?
Okay.
Yeah, and they're picking up an audience there. They're doing Twitch streams. They have a pro wrestling tee store.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. But whether or
mostly
not...
just because like Tyler Breeze is so involved with Up, Up, Down, Down as well.
Yeah. Well, I say Tyler Breeze, but it could possibly not be Tyler Breeze. I definitely know it's Baron Corbin and Sean Spears, though.
Yeah, I know.
That's as much. Sean Spears is the spearhead of it. Like he runs it.
They were really good mates in the company.
Yeah.
Like really close.
Yeah. But now they're doing this Twitch stream, right?
Yeah,
and there's not many people or wrestlers or talents that have things outside of WWE. And then if they do, they're not using it to facilitate them in WWE. Baron Corbin has his clothing company and this Twitch channel now. Neither of that gets incorporated into his character.
Not really.
It gets completely separate.
He wears his own merch.
He wears his own merch, right? But anything he does
sometimes.
with Sean Spears or like connection with the Twitch channel and his followers there,
well, yeah,
doesn't translate over.
Now that he's no longer Ty Dillinger within the company, you can't really push that.
Yeah.
But then again, you have like the thing on today on SmackDown, which was like Woods calling out, "Hey, all the Up, Up, Down, Down regular crew just got moved to Raw. Please give me Tyler Breeze on SmackDown," just because like he's incorporating that into who he is, and that works really well for him, and like it encourages people like, okay, what's he doing outside Up, Up, Down, Down? You go check that out. It's good fun. But yeah, I kind of like that today because I looked at it and a lot of the regular cast did get moved to Raw.
Yeah,
and he's got like no one left on SmackDown.
But that's brilliant for the Up, Up, Down, Down channel because now we're gonna get a new crop.
Yeah,
like I'm looking forward to it.
Ooh, Finn.
Give me Big O.
Yeah,
give me Big O.
He actually, I think Owens is a bit of a video gamer. And yeah, Finn.
Oh, I'd love to see Finn on the sticks.
Yeah, Finn on Up, Up, Down, Down. Fuck, who else? Who else could they get? I know. Actually, Ember Moon's a big one. She came across.
Oh yeah, no, she's huge. Yeah,
she came across today, which was good.
SmackDown got a lot of really good women's talent today. Kairi Sane on the call up.
Okay,
good moment.
I was okay with that until I realized in what context it was, which was dipping on Io Shirai and the Sky Pirates are no longer.
Yeah, but they weren't very long anyway.
I know, but
Io needs a singles run.
They had caught fire in NXT, and maybe Io's still a bit green to come up to the main roster right now.
Yeah.
But also shoving Asuka into a tag team.
I like it. You have to think about it though. Like
it could be the thing that reinvigorates her and gets her back, and like she could have a really good 12 months in the tag scene, and then that boosts her next singles run.
I think
because she is someone that deserves to be in
right.
in that title scene.
No,
you're
100% right. And the women's title scene is in a bit of a flux because of the double belts.
Yeah. Becky's holding everything hostage.
But for now, I like it.
Yeah, okay.
I like it.
I do as well.
I think the reign of the Asuka that we all once knew is done. It has to be. We have to accept it. Right?
I think they can build back around.
They can, but it needs to be done this way.
It does. Yeah,
it needs to be done this way.
A bit of time.
Yeah,
which really sucks because the momentum she had coming out of NXT was fucking huge.
Yeah, and she even had it on the main roster up until Charlotte.
And no one has really had that coming out of NXT at the moment. Like, everyone comes, even Ricochet and Aleister Black, who have had a really good run on the main roster so far. It's going to be interesting to see what happens now once they've been drafted to Raw officially. They're going to be there every week. They are still a tag team.
I like it too. Like, that's what we said before, but like that's need
fine.
to. Yeah.
That's fine, but it's like, how far can they go before it just becomes, it's the guy that can do flippy shit and the guy that likes to listen to metal?
I argue it's already there.
You reckon personally. A little bit?
Because I think, and we touched on it a couple of podcasts back, but it goes back to what I think it was Undertaker said.
Storytelling.
Storytelling doesn't exist right now.
Yeah.
Right. Well, what we have right now are guys with moves.
Yeah.
And it's no stiff to Ricochet. It's not. All right. But objectively, he's just a guy with moves.
He is.
Right. He hasn't got a story behind him. There's no real purpose for why you were in WWE. I feel like that's the big question a lot of superstars need to ask themselves. One, obviously for them personally, why they're in WWE, but why is your character in WWE?
Yeah.
Why? Right? Is it to chase a world title? You and 85 other guys.
Yeah.
What separates you? Right? You need to have that. Right? And I think that's where not a lot of these current wrestlers are asking themselves that kind of question. Yeah. And then that's how you build up this character.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I get that. Another big move, the big dog, SmackDown.
Start with that. We'll start with that. Okay.
Interesting. I think that is 100% a little production note from Fox, who were like, we need a big name for when it switches over.
Well, they just dropped AJ.
They did.
You just dropped AJ.
It really did feel like SmackDown is now without AJ Styles. They need a cornerstone to build, aside from Kofi.
Yeah,
they need a cornerstone to build the face side of the locker room.
I like now with this Roman move, Elias too.
Yeah,
because I think now this can be a refresh on Elias in a bit.
He's gonna be pushed as a pretty high main event heel. I feel.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Because now we look at the main event scene on SmackDown.
Yeah,
it's fresh, and that's the most interesting part about it.
Yes,
right?
it is. It is
new talent
fresh.
Can be pushed up into the main event scene because a lot of the AJs are over now on Raw. Finn is now on SmackDown, and I'd like to see him move to the main event scene sooner rather than later.
Are they purposefully just keeping AJ and Finn off the same brand?
Yeah, I know, it's a bit stiff, isn't it?
Do you feel that low?
Yeah. No, but now AJ and Seth are on the same brand.
Yeah, but no, I'm talking about Bullet Club lineage.
Yeah.
The fact we got two former leaders of Bullet Club, and they just seem to be keeping, but and that kind of makes that when they actually obviously
I think in their head they're going, oh, we've got the perfect WrestleMania 40 main event lined up right now.
I don't think AJ's going to.
No, AJ will come back. He'll retire next year, and he'll be like, "No, I'm coming back." Bullet Club versus Bullet Club. Right, and that'll be Finn's exit too, because at that point he'll be like 42
when Kenny quits AEW and comes to WWE, and they have the triple threat match.
Stop. So Big Dog on SmackDown. That's huge.
Yeah, it is.
That's huge. That's huge from the perspective that
massive.
This main event scene on SmackDown is nuts.
It is.
It is so fresh.
And it has that, when they did the original brand split, we were talking about on the podcast, it was like Raw is the big story show and SmackDown is the technical wrestler hub. Where all the really good technical wrestlers ended up. And now they've managed to kind of
hybrid it,
balance that out on both brands.
Yeah.
So you've got someone like AJ, you've got Seth, but then you've also got Drew McIntyre over on Raw. You've got Braun over there still as well. So
Which is so interesting.
You've got the big characters.
Yeah.
But then over on SmackDown, you've also got Finn, who's a fantastic wrestler. You've got Daniel Bryan, who's a fantastic wrestler. But then you've got Kofi, who's good for storyline. You've got Roman Reigns, who's big for storyline. It's managed to balance out a little bit more where you don't have all the good technical wrestlers on one brand and all the big storytellers on one brand. It's now you've got a bit of both.
Yeah.
And I find that I haven't really looked. Obviously, it's only a week in, but I think once we get a few months into this, we're going to see all right, is that balance really good? Are we getting good storylines and good wrestling on both shows? and I feel like this is a good starting point to get to a point where like we're gonna like both shows are gonna be must watch. I think having Roman Reigns on SmackDown is gonna start to drag that. You know, they're always lacking by about 500,000 views compared to Raw. It's gonna start dragging that up, and they're gonna start evening out a bit. Like, and that's obviously what Fox wants. Fox wants, you know, we want Raw numbers over on Fox for SmackDown, and I think Roman Reigns is a big part of that. So
to me, the big thing with SmackDown now is it's in an experimental phase.
It is.
It's in that, like, Roman is a proven main event commodity.
He is.
Aside from him, the main event scene on SmackDown is new.
Yeah.
It's so new, right?
Yeah.
And
I mean,
saying,
you got Kofi, you got Daniel Bryan.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But then
like,
apart from that,
look at it now. It seems like we're going to be pushing Elias. So considering Kofi is your champion, he can run feuds with Elias, Kevin Owens, Roman Reigns, Finn Balor eventually. It's so fucking fresh.
I still feel like him and Daniel Bryan need to run it back one more time.
They will. Daniel Bryan's out on injury though, isn't he?
Yeah, apparently.
Undisclosed though. Doesn't know how long he's out for. What he's suffering from.
Coming out of Mania, there was a lot of that.
Yeah.
Obviously, Big E's hurt now. Daniel Bryan got hurt. Ronda Rousey got hurt.
AJ was meant to be hurt too.
AJ did his hip apparently, but he looked pretty good on Raw. So,
yeah.
You know,
Could have been memed.
Yeah,
but Daniel Bryan, right?
Yeah, like, there is a lot of avenues you can go.
We look at this landscape now, and it's just so interesting. Who takes it off Kofi? Like,
I don't know.
I
got no idea.
You say to yourself,
yeah,
I like to believe the move of Roman to SmackDown leads credence to the fact that I think they're open to a heel turn. There seems to be a big shift in Roman right now.
That's a lot of heels, though, because that would be Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns, Elias.
Then I imagine you keep KO as face. You keep KO's face,
KO,
Finn Balor,
Kofi, and
Finn.
Interesting. Who else is on SmackDown that can like jump into the main event picture right now?
Randy Orton.
Oh, Orton, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
There's another heel.
Yeah.
And then
Ali, but
I was going to say, sorry.
Buddy Murphy. Dude, Buddy Murphy to SmackDown. I'm for it. I'm so for it. 205 is done now, though, because they just lost Cedric Alexander and Buddy Murphy.
And Buddy,
but
yeah.
Damn!
It feels like it's becoming just a bit of a feeding system for NXT.
Yeah.
At this point, which is weird.
I like it. Because you build up a portfolio
I still feel like...
as long as the wrestlers know they're building a portfolio.
Yeah, I still feel like 205 Live has its own place right now. Because you've got someone like Jack Gallagher who is appearing on there but also still appearing on NXT UK. You know, you can sort of use that. And I like the way they use the Worlds Collide thing to do like a bit of, you know, NXT UK and 205 Live and kind of incorporate those. I think they should do that more often. Yeah. Honestly, whenever they got the UK guys in the States or if you got the American guys over in the UK, do a little tournament.
Make it like a mini takeover.
Yeah,
so when you run a takeover every Big Four,
make it a big deal.
Do that as a lead-in and just be like, here's our little showcase for an hour.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you want this dream match, here it is.
Yeah, do like the Worlds Collide as like the pre-show every takeover. Just have like someone from... Just do a triple threat. Just someone from NXT, someone from NXT UK, someone from 205 Live, and have them do a really fucking good match that everyone talks about. The more people talk about it, the more people are going to tune into 205 Live, because I haven't tuned in for a long time.
No, have I, but I keep in touch.
I do as well. I keep in touch with the results and make sure that, you know, okay, this is the storyline, this is what's happening. I knew what was going on with Tony Nese and Buddy going into WrestleMania. I didn't want to be out of the loop with that. So, but yeah, I'm happy for Buddy. Buddy's on fucking SmackDown, man.
But it's like the question is, what do you do with him? Now, there's a stacked card on SmackDown. Now, he's not going to get the Ali push.
He's not going to get the Ali push.
I don't think he gets the Ali push. He just hasn't got that intangible to me.
But
do you run him against Finn?
I was about to say, how good would a feud between him and Finn Balor be?
Fuck. Dude, SmackDown is so good. SmackDown won this. SmackDown won this draft.
I think so as well.
Won this draft. Because there's just so much potential for like every beat of the main event, mid-card, even the women's division, and their
The women's division is pretty hot.
Their tag division lost it when they lost the Usos. That hurts.
Yeah, but
they lost Sanity.
Oh, yeah, they lost Sanity.
They lost Sanity, they lost the Usos.
What do you got?
And I don't think they gained any tag team.
You got New Day.
But New Day's in the main event now, along with
Kofi.
Kofi.
I know.
I would argue.
When Big E gets back, I think they're going to have a
So
run
the Hardys are the champion, but then you got
The Bar.
And that's about it, isn't it?
New Day.
And I guess they're going to run Shinsuke Rusev, but like...
Shinsuke Rusev, and they still technically have the Good Brothers.
Yeah, but it's a far depleted tag team division now.
It is, whereas over on Raw, Pretty good.
They done that switch, which I like.
Yeah.
Right?
So you got fucking dude Usos versus Revival.
Nuts, dude. Usos versus anybody.
I know
Usos versus anybody.
There has been a big like switch in people's perspectives of like the Usos are one of the best tag teams in the world right now.
They're probably one of the best all time too.
Yeah, they are like once they had the character switch, they have so come into their own.
Yeah,
and I love they just fit in that tweener like fucking spot where it's like they're not nice people.
They don't try to be.
No, they don't.
But God damn it, do you love them?
Yeah, I know, and they don't try to. But they're not going to go out and like use underhanded tactics to win. They're going to win because they're the fucking best.
Yeah.
I love them, man.
I love the teetering of that line.
I used to just like, whenever the Usos came on, they'd do the Us, and I'd be like, no, because fuck them. They were boring, but they were boring face. They were the John Cena of the tag team. They were really generic, and they had fucking colourful stuff on their face, and they handed out stuff to kids on the way to the ring.
With their switch to Raw, it now ends the faded Usos versus New Day rivalry.
They will run that back.
They will come back to it
2 to 3
years.
100%. And we will be so hyped for it.
Oh, no shit. But that's what I'm saying. We were still hyped for it when they met 2 weeks ago.
Could have happily had them do a fucking match every single pay-per-view. It wouldn't have mattered, man.
We are now at the end of this act for them.
I know. It's sad.
It's sad.
But
that story... Not only did it make the SmackDown Tag Division from 2016 onwards.
It did.
Right? It made it.
Yeah.
Right? But it made both of those stables.
It did. Do you know what the best conclusion of that story was? Was them refusing to fight during the tag team gauntlet match.
That's what I'm saying. That goosebumps even thinking about it.
That brought that whole story, at least this arc of that story, to a close.
Yeah.
They go their separate ways for a couple of years, bring it back around, a couple of brand splits from now.
Yeah.
And the minute those two face off, like whatever combination of the New Day and the Usos, it's going to be big. It's going to be huge.
Having Kofi of the New Day get the push that he's gotten.
Yeah.
Do we see it? Is there potential for it for one of the Usos to be in that position as well?
I don't know, because
I think
because of the New Day,
I don't want Kofi to be the only one. In the sense that he's of a tag team, and they're making this a tag team based story.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
He is Kofi of the New Day, the WWE champion.
Yeah, they are.
It's the only other tag team who deserves something like this is the New Day. Is the Usos.
Yeah,
right.
I don't know. It could, because the New Day are so individual in each of their personalities. Yeah. Like, look, honestly, sometimes I still can't tell Jimmy and Jay apart when they're in the ring.
Oh, dude, I honestly can't still.
No, I know. Like, one of them has like just more tattoos than the other one, but I can't remember which one it is. Yeah, but like I just feel like unless the two of them have very distinct personalities, and they have a personality as a tag team and as a duo, but I couldn't tell you much about either one.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's not to say that it can't happen.
I'm sure I can. Like, if they could somehow find a way to make people really be able to differentiate them and go, that's Jimmy, that's Jay. Jimmy is the funny one and Jay is the serious one, or like whatever. But right now, most of their promos involve them talking one after the other about the same thing. They do a promo that essentially could be done by one person, and they just trade off line for line. That's kind of their promo technique.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to differentiate them and be like, okay, this is why I want Jimmy to be WWE champion, or this is why I want Jay to be WWE champion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think that's a good problem to have, though.
Is it though?
Because we're sitting, because I think we've already passed the threshold of, well, do they deserve to be WWE champion or at least compete for it? I think they do, right? I think all is being achieved in the tag team division, and we are aware of their talents.
Yeah.
If they were to somehow one day just be like, we're now doing like a 6-man battle or whatever for number one contendership, and you were to throw one of the Usos in there, no one would fly a flag on it, right? And if one of them were to win, it would get an eruption, right?
It would.
But I don't think anyone would sit back and go, they're going to win. But it would be such a good moment. They're already at that level where it's like, if they were to get thrown into a contendership match and win it, we're not against it, right?
Yeah. I just think you have to...
What's to say that we go the one step further?
I just think
Kofi's done.
I think you just have to define them as individual characters first. And that is kind of the issue right now, is they don't have an individual identity outside of being brothers in a tag team. Perfect example, Nick and Matt, the Jacksons.
Yeah.
They have very, very different personalities. You can tell them, like, you can understand, the difference between the two of them. you understand each of their personalities pretty well because of, they are, and I know people have shat on them in the past for not being very good storytellers and being spot monkeys, but their last 24 months of them developing that storytelling in the ring, you can tell those two apart very easily. The way they move in the ring, the way they tell stories in the ring is very different, and I think they do a fucking good job of it, and I think it gets sort of just swept under the carpet. A lot of people just, it's just the Young Bucks, they do flips. No, they are coming into their own as and they should be up there in the argument of the best tag team in the world because they are. They are that fucking, They are that fucking good. I think it goes to show that brothers have just this connection.
They do.
When it comes to doing tag team stuff.
Some of the most successful tag teams of all time have been brothers.
Yeah, exactly. So
the Hardys, Usos, Brothers of Destruction.
Come on.
What are we talking about? Did you see that post from the WWE's Instagram page?
No.
Where they were like, here are the top 5 best brother tag teams.
Right.
And they did the slide, the show reel.
Yeah.
And at the end of it is fucking Undertaker and Kane. I respect the kayfabe.
Yeah,
I respect the fucking kayfabe
they commit
out of that.
to it. Yeah, it's fine. But yeah, there is a distinct difference between Nick and Matt that I can look at them and tell you right now that this is what Matt's like, this is what Nick's like. I can't do that with Jimmy and Jay.
Yeah, no, you make a very fair point.
Yeah.
You make a very fair point. What I was just trying to get across was I think we are on the same page when it comes to if they were to be thrown into it, it's not a far-fetched idea,
100%.
right? Because we are all aware now of their talent in the same way of how New Day done it as well.
Yeah.
But what separates them is that we knew Kofi as a singles competitor beforehand.
We did.
Right? And there was an actual campaign very much before he became New Day to be pushed into that regard. So you are right. Yeah. But what I'm saying is I don't think it's that far of a stretch.
No, it's not. No,
100%.
I would 100%. If say we get to Money in the Bank and they're not in the Raw tag scene yet, maybe we do another revival. The Major Brothers, I don't know.
Yeah.
They have
I like it though. I like the Major Brothers. I'm giving it that.
Yeah. I'm sure they're not going to use that. It's going to be Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins.
They won't hold it past Money in the Bank.
No,
it's
but
not
I'm
fair
just saying,
now.
say they have that match, and the Usos have nothing to do. Throw one or both of them into the Money in the Bank match.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, no, agreed.
Because they
give us that hope spot.
Yeah,
because it's little, but that's what I'm saying. Little stuff like that where you start to showcase that these guys are competing at a singles level, but together, right, and going for that gold. You start to build that story already, right? You're already building it, going, they had a fucking strong performance in that Money in the Bank. Now we want them to go further.
Yeah.
And that's literally how Kofi did it, right? Literally how they did it. They threw him into these when Ali got injured, and then he did the Elimination Chamber spot. He excelled in both of them enough to where the crowd was like, we need it.
Kofi.
Just push the button on it.
Yep.
Give Kofi that run.
Yep.
Regardless of whether or not the New Day get the rub as well, Kofi deserves it.
Yeah.
It can be same could be said for one of the Usos, but it just needs that, right? No, you're right.
Do you reckon they're going to do 2 Money in the Banks this year or not? Just one.
Do one. Do one.
Oh, well, what do you rate?
What do you mean? As in
right now, 4 from SmackDown, 4 from Raw. Male competitors. Who is in your Money in the Bank match?
All right, we'll go SmackDown. Fuck, this is difficult.
I know,
because you got to assume who's going to compete for the strap as well.
Yes.
So I say Roman's actually in the Money in the Bank. I don't think he competes.
Okay.
I don't think he's going to be the first challenger for Kofi Kingston.
No.
Nor have they, which is very interesting. When let's say it is May 19th, next pay-per-view, they haven't even started pretending like who's going to be the next one's up.
Dude, it's still 4 weeks away.
Agreed, but I would start.
I think that
planning.
There's getting through the shake-up. Get through that.
Yeah.
Establish your new rosters. And next week we get an idea.
But who would you have? Seth is arguably easier. Because you got someone like Drew, right?
I think it's going to be Drew.
It's going to be Drew.
Because they've been booked on house shows against each other for a bit now. So
whereas with Kofi, I like the position he's in. They're still on the I'm celebrating him being WWE champion train.
Yeah, I think that ends this week.
That ends now.
Yeah.
What we said last week, we said it should have ended then. I agree that it can continue into this week with the shake-up, but it ends now.
Yeah, it does.
Right? Kofi now should be taken as a serious competitor and pick a challenger or a challenger come up and face him. Yep. Right?
I feel we're going to get a multi-man match next week.
Number 1 contendership. I'm not against it.
Yeah.
Right? But then who? That's... Who? Yeah, who though? With SmackDown, it's so interesting because it's such a new fucking fresh scene. Anyone could take on Kofi and it would be good.
Do you know what would be interesting? It wouldn't be exactly that fresh, but it'd be a nice callback to something. Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've had feuds in the past. They've had really good feuds in the past.
Yeah, shit. And it would be a nice end to that arc of
Yeah,
them.
exactly. Like, and it would be just like they know each other really well. They've competed for years, so their chemistry in the ring is always pretty on point. So I really, and Randy's he's a great heel because he can heal it up.
And
with
it would
anybody.
make sense.
It would make a little bit.
You
of
know
sense.
what? I'd have Randy. Okay, you called
Yeah,
it.
so
All right.
I
So
reckon-
now
I
we go
reckon-
back to the money.
I
in the
reckon
Bank.
Randy and Kofi, and that's a good way to just get
Randy, Kofi, Seth, Drew. Right.
Seth, Drew.
So Randy and Drew are now out of that scene. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
So I got Roman from SmackDown.
Yep.
Kevin Owens.
Yep.
Ali.
Yep. Finn. Or does Finn have a title match?
Elias.
Elias? Okay. All right. I like that.
All right. And then
That's two heels, two faces?
yeah.
Yep. All right.
So that's SmackDown.
Yep.
From Raw.
Yep.
Fuck. Bobby Lashley, I guess.
Yeah.
Fuck. Who did that? AJ.
AJ.
And I'd actually have AJ win it.
Yeah.
I'd have AJ go over.
Braun.
Because
he's not doing much now.
Yeah. That's so unfortunate for Braun.
Although he's apparently,
Unless Joe has actually moved over.
Apparently he's feuding with EC3.
Oh, God. Have you been seeing the comments on that? Just a quick tangent.
Yeah.
The legends have come out and gone, I have never seen a talent get so obviously buried
Instantly.
in the way that EC3 has.
Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous.
Like, what did he do?
I don't know.
What the fuck did that man do? Are they really pissed at him for winning the Impact title all those years ago? In an era of Impact where really it wasn't even trying to compete against you anymore?
No.
Like, if you're going to stiff a guy, stiff AJ Styles.
Yeah.
Like,
And you haven't.
what did he do? He's being so blatantly buried,
I know,
though. That's the thing.
If you look at him, he is fucking Vince McMahon's wet dream.
Yeah, so what?
He must have done something real bad.
But I look at him as well and I go, there's just something there that I don't see. It's still the intangible with EC3.
It is. He's just a body guy.
That's the problem. He's just another Chris Masters. Like,
yeah. But he had a little something. He had a bit of fire under his belly in NXT.
He did, but
he
NXT
lost
though.
that. He lost that the minute he came to main roster.
I don't understand why he's getting buried. Like, he must have done something fucking heinous.
Did he try to fuck Stephanie McMahon?
That might have been it. But then he would have gotten buried on NXT. Well, maybe that's actually. Oh, you know what? Let's not speculate. We're not those guys.
Yeah, I know.
So what? We had Bobby Lashley.
Yeah. Braun.
AJ.
One more from Raw.
God damn it. Fuck.
Who do we like for that spot?
Oh my God.
Who else got taken across
Yeah, what the
Raw?
fuck? I'm trying to think who Raw has now.
That's interesting.
Stiff then. Because, you know what? Raw's main event scene is leveled out then as well.
Yeah.
Because there was a problem I was having with Raw a year ago. Was
Baron.
Yeah, all right.
Baron,
I guess you can throw.
That's two heels, two faces.
Yeah, I guess you can throw Baron in there.
Yeah, throw Baron in there.
Yeah, that's a good landscape, actually. I like that.
That's it. That's an interesting ladder match.
Yeah.
Because you've got a little bit of high fly, a little bit of big, brutal fucking power moves on through ladders or with ladders, around ladders, off ladders. Ooh.
I reckon you do give it to AJ in that regard.
Yeah,
like
AJ,
give it to someone big. Don't let this be a make or break briefcase because the
don't-
last three haven't worked.
Yeah, don't let it be.
This
a Baron,
needs to be a win.
Don't let it be a Baron Corbin.
Yeah,
briefcase.
don't let it be a Baron Corbin briefcase. Don't let it be a Braun Strowman briefcase.
No, that was terrible.
Oh, that fucking hurt me.
And AJ can cash in.
And AJ should be let it be AJ or Roman. Let it be an obvious pick this time.
Yeah.
Let it be an obvious pick and
Yeah.
let him have an absolute let him win.
Because then you've got that feud in your back pocket if whatever you're working on right now isn't working.
Exactly. So Seth will
you
move
can
on
just-
to a program with Drew, finish that program, and then it'll just be a very easy. I've won the Money in the Bank briefcase. You and I are going to go at this.
Yep.
And then the crowd explodes. That's all they need to see or hear.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I guess we'll see. But okay, that's men. Women. Who we got now?
Jesus. Alexa Bliss.
Four for me. Okay, let's
Let's
go.
go. Alexa Bliss.
Yep.
Lacey Evans. No, actually, she'll compete for the
No,
title.
she's going to be so.
She'll compete for the
right
title.
now, we can assume that there's going to be a women's championship match at Money in the Bank. Lacey Evans has put her hand up, and she said on Twitter just the Raw title.
Does she defend twice? See, now this is what we were discussing last week
that's
with
an
Becky.
interesting thing, yeah.
If you were doing this double champ gimmick,
well,
commit to the
Becky-
double champ gimmick.
Becky didn't get drafted.
I know. So she should exist in limbo, is what I'm
So
saying.
she is still like,
Yeah.
so whatever title she drops first, she will go to the other brand by default.
Yeah, that's what I argue.
I would assume is
That's
that.
what I argue. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Lacey Evans for the Raw title. Maybe she doesn't do the SmackDown title right now.
No, but this is... You squeeze this. Well, on the other, like it's the double-edged sword. You win both belts. You get the fucking put over. What an absolute rub it is. But now you're 2 champions. Like you got to defend both belts.
Yeah.
Like that's how it should be.
Well,
Otherwise,
who on SmackDown do you think goes after her first?
Fuck Charlotte. I don't know. Like give
Not
her
Charlotte.
anyone.
Not Charlotte.
Not Charlotte.
Not Charlotte.
I do want Charlotte in the Money in the Bank.
Charlotte
actually.
in the Money in the Bank match.
And I actually would have her win it too.
Yeah, me too.
Fuck man. I don't know. Ask her. Like give her someone.
She just got put in a tag team.
Damn it. Bailey.
She did come and declare she's a singles competitor.
Yeah, Bailey. Let's say she runs a feud now with Bailey and Lacey Evans.
All right,
I like it. I like it a lot, actually.
Bailey and Lacey Evans are out of the Money in the Bank match.
All right.
4 from Raw, 4 from SmackDown.
Fuck, it's hard. I can't actually name you anyone. So
Okay.
Alexa Bliss.
Okay, Raw.
Dana?
Raw, Alexa Bliss, Dana. That's not a bad one. Alexa Bliss and Dana. Fuck.
Nia's out on injury.
Naira's out on injury. Tamina?
Oh, god damn it. Get her out of the spotlight for just a little bit, you know?
Fine. Sasha Banks.
We assume?
We've got a month to get her back into the
All right,
fold.
let's say Sasha Banks.
Sasha Banks, get her back in the fold.
And you know what? I reckon she leverages this and she actually wins.
Possibly, yes.
Yeah.
And then someone else from Raw. Oh, Natty.
Oh, okay. I like it. Yeah.
Natty.
That's all right. And then
All
we got Charlotte, Asuka,
Ember Moon,
Ember, and Kairi.
and Kairi, yeah.
Yeah, put both Japs in there. Japanese. Bleep that.
Just say the whole word.
Damn it. I'm so used to it.
I know you're Asian, but god damn it.
I like that landscape, actually.
Yeah.
I like that landscape. I would actually have either
that is an interesting
Charlotte or Sasha go over in that regard.
Yeah, that is an interesting Money in the Bank match too, because
It's an interesting Money in the Bank
you got
year.
a lot of high flyers, you got a couple of power wrestlers,
Yeah.
and then that's good.
Keen to see Charlotte take some bumps, though. Oh, yeah. And Sasha. If Sasha's in that match, last time she was in a match with some ladders and tables, my God.
I thought she died.
Yeah, everyone, that's how they work, yeah.
I know.
That's how they work,
but she has just this fucking neck that's made of rubber, and she can bounce off her head like it's nothing.
She's nuts, dude. She's nuts.
She's crazy woman. Anyway, those are 2 pretty good Money in the Bank matches.
And those are 2 pretty good main event scenes.
I'm gonna write these down somewhere, and just like how
did we absolutely call it?
Like how close do we actually get? Come fucking, come Money in the Bank. Because really, like I can't see many other options at this point. Like those are 8 people, so 4 from each brand that can pretty much jump into the main event picture whenever, without Money in the Bank. But Money in the Bank is a big boost to that. So I don't know. Interesting. Could be. I reckon we're pretty close. I reckon we'll get at least 6 out of 8 of both of those.
Oh yeah, I think we'll miss the Sasha one.
Yeah,
and we might miss maybe one of the men's Raws.
Yeah. I'm sure there's someone else they can.
Yeah. Maybe Braun doesn't go in and he fights Samoa Joe and we get someone else in there.
Well, yeah, true. Because like Joe, if Joe is going to Raw and he's got the title, he's gonna have to defend the US title. You would assume at the pay per view.
Yeah,
I would hope. Because you can't just. That's one thing I hate about like sometimes in Money in the Bank they'll put the mid carders in there and then you lose a title match. But
they need to make that shift now. They got to stop doing that.
Money in the Bank is kind of it really should be in the Big 4.
Oh yeah, my God, Big 5. I made that argument years ago.
Yeah, like
it's such a brilliant gimmick.
Survivor Series has kind of lost its way. I guess it kind of got it back once you got the brand
when they
split.
got the proper brand split going again.
Yeah,
it got its resurgence.
You got that Raw v SmackDown stuff going on again, which is fun. But the last Survivor Series that I think mattered was fucking Cena fighting for his and the other people in his team's fucking careers.
Oh, was that Cena vs. Authority?
Yeah. And then we had Sting come out and beat Triple H at the end of that.
I think the 2016 one was was one of the best ones.
Which one was that? Was that the first?
That was the first one.
After the brand split.
Yeah,
that was a good one too.
It made a lot of sense.
That was the invasion angle where both of them came onto each other's shows. Yeah.
Like that was the first time we'd seen an invasion angle in a while. And now since then they've obviously done it every year.
Yes.
But like 2016 made a lot of sense. Right?
It did because it was fresh.
Yeah.
It was new.
But it's not to say it still can't make sense. It's just, all Survivor Series needs is just a gimmick on top of it. Right? Like, give me a reason why Raw and SmackDown are versing each other outside of the fact that they're just versing each other.
Yeah.
Right? It needs to mean something. We said last week it should be draft picks. It should still be that.
Or it could be, positions in the Rumble.
Yeah.
Because the Rumble's the next major pay-per-view after Survivor Series.
Yeah.
It's like, say SmackDown wins, they get to nominate, one of their superstars for position number 30.
Yeah.
Which
Something like that. There's so many options to make Survivor Series huge.
Make it mean something.
Yeah.
Give it a reason except for bragging, like other than bragging rights. Yeah, it needs to mean something. So I think Rumble positions, something like that would be good. Or draft picks if they're going to do another draft around that November, December period, which leading into Rumble kind of doesn't make much sense because you will have to start your WrestleMania storylines then. So having a bit of a switch up is odd. And I think if you're going to do this superstar shake up after Mania every year, the gap between November and April is kind of a big one in the wrestling world, and people are going to forget that. Oh, SmackDown won Survivor Series.
Yeah, I was just about to suggest that as well and go, why don't we just wait until then? But yeah, no, you're right. It's a bit of a gap.
It is a bit. Whereas like Rumble is only like 2 months later.
Yeah.
So people are going to remember like, okay, SmackDown won. That means they've got like, say like they get all 5 of like the last 5.
Yeah. Keep it as like
26, 27, 28.
Normally it's 15-15. Let's just go, all right, Raw, SmackDown, whoever wins, it goes 20-10. Like, Raw gets 20 picks and then SmackDown gets 10 picks. Like, something so simple like that has a lot more meaning to why those guys are fighting in that regard.
And that means that would hopefully get Survivor Series back into a bit of prominence. Whereas right now it's kind of like, it's a cool pay-per-view. But
yeah, it's still a cool gimmick and it deserves its spot.
I like the fact that they've brought in the champion v champion gimmick for it as well.
Yeah, that to me is really fun.
that has helped.
Yeah,
I think, but it still should be all about that 5v5 Survivor Series.
That's what I'm saying. Have that. So there are gimmicks that make it what it is, right?
Yeah,
so that champion vs champion, excellent. But that 5v5 is what we're talking about, and that's what needs to be something that prevails longer than what the pay-per-view is.
Yeah,
right?
it does.
In the same way that Money in the Bank, to that regard as well, its storyline persists ongoing until it cashes.
Someone cashes in,
right?
yeah, exactly.
Like, why is that not considered one of the big ones, right?
I think it's starting to feel like it, and because like the last couple of years they've had a takeover attached to it as well.
Yeah.
It has made it, but this year they're not doing it because it's so close to Mania. We're not getting another takeover, which I'm sad about because takeovers are awesome.
Yeah,
now what is it going to be like?
When are we going to wait until Gargano to defend? Like
a takeover attached to a battleground or a payback?
No, because the next one will be SummerSlam now. They'll just go back to doing 4. It hurts, I know.
They were doing 5 takeovers a year, and that made sense.
It did,
yeah,
because there were 5 big pay-per-views, and there still are. But
4 takeovers is not a lot, and that's a lot. That's a lot of time in between takeovers to tell a bunch of stories.
And considering how big NXT is getting now,
yeah.
Well,
I mean, we can talk about that right now because Johnny ain't leaving apparently.
Yeah, but I like that.
Yeah, I know.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm sure he's going to get caught up eventually.
Yeah,
but he doesn't want to. He wants to stay there. He wants to make it its own third brand. And it really is starting to become its own third brand. Like, I mean, we've talked about it for a while, but it really is starting to feel like...
Only the obvious NXT call-ups got called up, which I think is good too.
Yeah.
Right? So the ones that are already called up with Ricochet, Aleister Black, Lars, AC3, all those ones got firmly solidified.
Yeah.
And then the only real call-up was Kairi Sane at that point, right? So NXT is still very strong.
It is.
Ciampa's still down there. Gargano's still there.
Ciampa when he's next.
Ciampa when he comes back, but he will be NXT, right? And the Undisputed Era.
Yeah.
Dream,
Matt Riddle.
Like their talent pool is insane.
We need to sit down one day and just do like, not a podcast, but just like ranking the eras of NXT. Because my God, there's been some fucking huge eras. Like you got the Neville era. You got the Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens.
How are you defining era? By champion? And then what happens in that champion's reign?
The majority of the roster, I feel.
Because I argue Finn's was probably the best.
I mean,
Samoa Joe, Shinsuke.
Yeah, but then like look at the tag division at the time. Look at the women's division at the time. Like the whole...
Yeah, true.
The whole like scope of...
What was the women's division at the time when Finn was champion? It wasn't Asuka,
it was...
Because Asuka had 500 days, so she outsaw at least two NXT champions in that time.
It was the end of... Finn was the end of the women, like the 4 horsewomen era into the Asuka era.
Yeah.
Because Asuka beat Bayley.
Yeah.
That was the end of the horsewomen era.
That's
so
true.
I think it was Finn and Asuka for a very long time.
Bayley was down there as well.
She stayed for a bit longer because she dropped the belt, didn't get called up with the other 3, then had a rematch and then got called up.
Yeah.
So she stayed there for a little bit longer than the other 3.
I argue it's Finn. I put
the Finn era.
Finn era is the best era.
It was a good tag era as well. Because that was...
Revival and DIY.
No, Revival and American Alpha.
Oh, American Alpha.
Yes.
Was DIY after Finn era?
DIY was after the Finn era.
Okay.
That was going into the Joe Shinsuke.
Rude era. Yeah.
Rude, the Bobby Roode era.
Yeah.
But my God, like right now,
right now, very good. But I say Finn's best era.
All right, we'll have to break it down one day in like a video form or something. Just be like, okay, what is the best fucking era from NXT?
When was
Because, my God, it's just been. It still manages to go from strength. The minute they lose talent, they got someone else ready.
Oh
to go.
yeah, they're very good at developing their talent.
Yeah,
because once Gargano dips, and let's call that the end of like a very long era.
Yeah.
The
DIY era is
going. Let's say it's the DIY era because it has been Ciampa and Gargano.
Yeah,
right.
Like
let's say
they've done the tag belts. They got the fuck into the main event scene like that. Their era has been
when they've moved on.
Because like Aleister Black didn't really have an era. It was Aleister Black had the belt. Good for him. Same with Andrade.
Yeah, you say that, and I agree because it just feels
the prevailing thing that time was that DIY were in NXT.
Yeah, so let's call this the DIY era.
It's the DIY era
until both guys are gone. So it's a long one. This is a long era.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fuck. It's up there. I still argue Finn's era is the best one. But then what comes after this, right? Because we're sitting there and we're going, you know, when who beats Gargano? I don't think Dream does. I think Adam Cole will be out of the system by then.
I don't know. I really felt
I think it's going to be a genuine new crop when Gargano drops.
If they were going to call up Undisputed Era within the next year, I reckon this week was the time, or the last 2 weeks was the time to do it. I feel like. Okay, have you seen the spoilers?
What?
Anyone listening right now who doesn't want NXT spoilers, just mute for like 30 seconds. They're teasing Roddy leaving the group.
Oh, yeah. I saw that. Yeah, I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
I don't like it.
I hate it.
I don't like what they've done with calling up. It's the dumbest name in the history of names. The Viking Experience.
Oh! I'd almost completely forgot, but now we're back around to that. Fuck that. That was terrible. What the fuck is that name?
It didn't need to be changed. I don't understand.
I think it's a you know, back in the day when it was like Raw is War.
That makes no sense.
And they don't like the word war.
Then just call them the Viking Raiders.
Just call them the Raiders. Oh, you can't really do that. Oakland would have a problem with it.
Oh, fuck Oakland. God.
But yeah, like War Raiders is like, why allow them to have that name in NXT in the first place if you were just going to be like, oh, we can't do it on main roster? Then don't.
Viking Experience. That is the.
What are their new names? Eric and
Igor or something.
Ivan?
Something like that.
Yeah, something stupid. But my God, you've got to be fucking kidding me. That is a terrible name. Just call them the Vikings. But be like V-I lowercase and then uppercase K-I-N-G-S. The Vikings. Something like that. That's not terrible. That's not fucking...
Maybe we'll come around to it. Maybe Vince is a genius. Look, honestly, we shouldn't doubt Vince
there was
McMahon
a lot
at this
of
stage,
there was a lot of wrestlers that were coming out and just being like, look, talent can get over a dumb name. Look at The Undertaker. Look at Mankind.
Yeah.
Look at the amount of dumb names wrestling has had. But now that you just like, you so associate the character to the name, it doesn't sound weird. But I don't think these guys are a tag team of that level where they're going to be like revered in 20 years where it won't matter what their fucking name is. They're a good tag team, don't get me wrong. But that is a dumb fucking tag team name.
But more to the point, whilst a stupid name, they're also the NXT Tag Champions.
Which they didn't bring out the belts.
Yeah.
Why didn't they bring out the fucking belts?
Like, that's the interesting story going forward now.
Yeah, what happens there? That's weird.
They've been drafted to Raw? Is that what they said? Or is that
they
were just... So they've been drafted to Raw.
Yeah.
So they drop. But
Obviously.
they vacate. But then what was the point of the Dusty Classic? You literally had
I know.
the opportunity there.
Well, I read, like, when I read the NXT, like, taping spoilers, there was no real mention of them in a big feud or dropping the straps that I remember hearing. So, I don't know.
Well, that's something to keep an eye on.
Well, I think maybe this is the catalyst for Undisputed Era to start holding all the gold. They get the tag straps back at some point.
Yeah.
But I'm still not happy with the tease of Roddy breaking up with... I don't like it. Why can't they just leave?
I agree.
Leave stables alone. I know that there's...
They don't need to break up.
I know there is value in, like, having a story where you've got stablemates against each other, and I get it, but New Day ain't breaking up. They're never breaking up.
The Usos will never break up.
New Usos will never break up. They're not really a stable, though. They're a tag team.
But, yeah, like, they'll never break up, is that what I'm saying?
No, exactly.
Like...
But, man, Undisputed Era has such a fucking... Like, if you go back and you watch NXT, and the reaction Adam Cole gets. I know it's Adam Cole. I know he's the head of the faction, but as a group, they are just something that people love to get around because they are heels and they're assholes, but they're fucking funny.
They
are
need to be
they are so enjoyable to watch do bad things. So don't fucking break them up. Don't do it. And right now, what is the point of breaking up Roddy? Because if you're going to do that, obviously Roddy runs as the face. But guess what? His missus is currently a heel on NXT as well. So just leave him as a fucking heel. Leave him with the thing. Just don't do it.
He didn't even have a successful singles run before Undisputed Era.
No, I know.
Like
he was fucking doing nothing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like these boys need to be a part of this stable.
They do.
Like there's cases to be made when it comes to like other stables, like Evolution, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like you can see into that group and go.
That's 4 main events.
That's what I'm saying. You're looking at that and you're going, oh, someone like Randy Orton, like he could break out at any moment. Batista, my God, we already know Rick and Triple H are singles guys that have come together to make this, so we already know that they're case.
Yeah.
In this situation, it's pretty much just Adam Cole who's the singles guy established.
Baby.
Right?
Yeah.
Even then,
I mean,
he
Roddy,
needs this stable as much.
Roddy is
because he's not a main event singles guy.
He
Objectively, right now.
No, he is when he has help. He needs that help.
Okay.
To win.
So he's Kofi Kingston.
Yeah, he's the evil Kofi Kingston.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. I can live with that.
That's what I'm saying.
Don't
break up.
Kofi won that match all by himself.
He did, but Kofi doesn't get there without the New Day.
I know.
Adam Cole doesn't get anywhere without an Undisputed Era.
He doesn't.
Right.
No.
If he's just Adam Cole,
baby.
Objectively, he falls within just mid card.
Yeah.
But if he's Undisputed Era Adam Cole, a case can be made for him coming out there and
eventer.
challenging Seth Rollins right
He's
up.
a fucking main eventer.
Right, he's a main eventer, right? Breaking them up is stupid. There is absolutely no long-term value.
Terrible idea. And like, what? We're going to get a Roderick Strong Adam Cole feud? I don't care about that.
Yeah.
Oh,
like no stiff to Roddy though. Like he's a really good wrestler,
dude,
but we're just making a case for like.
Technically, Roddy is a fucking fantastic wrestler.
Yeah.
But his promo lets him down.
And he has no gimmick.
Do you know who has a really good promo and is a really good wrestler? Adam Cole Bebe.
Yeah. And Tom Hardy.
Yeah. And Kyle O'Reilly's a really good
Kyle O'Reilly is excellent.
Kyle O'Reilly is...
If actually, you know what? If they do break up, Roddy's the one who suffers the most. So why would you want to leave?
Exactly.
Why would you want to leave Roddy?
I know. It doesn't make any sense for him to leave the group. It's
NXT.
real dumb.
Triple H are better than this.
But apparently, I doubt this is coming from Triple H.
Oh, do you reckon Vince has stepped down and just gone, break these guys up?
It doesn't feel like a fucking Triple H move, though. Like, Triple H has kept factions together. Like,
it would be hypocritical if he didn't.
Aside from DIY, he really hasn't done a faction or tag team split up on NXT. DIY was kind of the first one.
Yeah. And, maybe not on NXT, but the Aussie boys. TM61.
One of them left.
Well, left, and I'm pretty sure.
And he went up to fucking.
Who did Buddy tag with?
Buddy, it was Murphy and what was their name?
Fuck, man, I don't remember the other boys.
They were the dubstep cowboys. They had a cowboy gimmick, but their music was dubstep. Fuck.
Don't remember. Murphy. Wesley Blake
and Murphy.
Yeah.
And they had Alexa Bliss with them.
Yeah.
Yes. I remember them.
That was the Finn era tag.
Yeah,
I think.
But that was also like tail end of Enzo and Cass and fucking.
True. I forget Enzo and Cass was in the NXT system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, who else was around that time? It was definitely American Alpha and who else? Oh, Sanity. Was Sanity around that era?
Yeah. Oh, and probably
who else got brought up and got broken up?
No, not broken up. What the fuck? They look like Demolition. Oh my god, why am I
AOP? Authors of Pain.
Oh my god, where have they gone?
One of them's injured.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah,
but I completely forgot them.
But that's another one for the Raw tag.
Yeah, true. Move them to SmackDown.
Yeah, move them to SmackDown.
Holy shit! What? I forgot about them. Oh, yeah. But they would have a nuts match with Usos.
Probably, yeah.
Ooh.
They weren't terrible. They
were good. They were good.
But they had good tag teams to bounce off of.
Yeah.
Like their best match has been that triple threat.
And a lot is said for what's his name, to the manager they had in NXT.
Why did they get rid of him?
You can't travel. Like the dude's like 65, bro. Like
I know, but still,
I know.
It was just they can't talk without him.
I know. They need a Paul Heyman.
They do.
I'm disappointed Brock wasn't a part of the move. I would have fucking popped.
As if Brock, like, they wouldn't have had him on. There would have been like a fucking graphic on the screen just being like, Brock Lesnar now moving.
No, but that's what I'm saying. How nuts would that fucking be?
Just a graphic.
Just Brock coming out on SmackDown. Like, you...
Yeah, I know.
As much as you anticipate it, you actually don't think it's going to happen.
Apparently Fox want him real bad on SmackDown.
Dude, I don't fucking blame them.
No, I know.
I don't fucking blame them. He hasn't done SmackDown since he's returned at all.
I mean, Roman's there.
Roman's there now. Oh, don't run Brock Roman.
No, I know.
Give me Brock Kofi.
Yeah, rematch of Beast in the East.
Oh, holy fuck.
Do you remember that?
Forever ago. Jesus.
How long ago was that? That was when Finn picked up the title off fucking Owens, wasn't it?
What, NXT?
No, just the Beast in the East, like, network special. They just went to Japan.
Yeah.
And it was Brock v Kofi. It was Owens v Finn in a ladder match for the NXT title.
Yeah.
Sure, there was something else on that.
Holy shit, that was a while ago.
It was, but that was when they.
But give me Brock and Kofi again. Then.
That was when they really started pushing the network specials. Like, just not a takeover, not a pay-per-view, just a network special.
Well, speaking of fucking network specials, can you believe they pulled Cena Rock on us with the fucking Shield? Once in a lifetime, last time ever. My fucking ass. Shield are competing again this Sunday.
Yeah. They bought him out last night after Raw, too.
What is this Dean situation, man? It's now starting to feel work to me.
It really feels like they just...
It's now starting to feel work. And I don't like that. You should have let it feel really shoot and then be like, no, it's actually work later on. With all this Dean coming back, Dean here and there, now doing another Shield thing, it definitely leans into the fact that Dean, whilst not re-signed, is going to down the track. What are you doing?
I'm just looking at the Beast in the East pay-per-view. A lot has changed since 2016. Okay, this is the match card. Cesaro defeated Diego by submission.
Who the fuck is that?
Who the fuck is Diego?
Okay,
is he one of the... Hang on, is he one of the...
Just one of the Dojo boys.
No, is he one of the Colognes? He is one of the Colognes. Diego Colon? Oh, that was Primo and Epico. Oh, no, wait. That was when they were the Los Matadores.
Oh, fuck me. All right. I hate wrestling.
The Lucha Dragons, Kalisto and Sin Cara defeated the New Day, Big E and Xavier in a tag title match. Oh, sorry, tag team match. No title on the line. Chris Jericho defeated Neville by submission in a singles match.
That would have been a lit match, though.
Yeah. Nikki Bella defeated Tamina and Paige in a triple threat match for the Divas Championship. Now we're going back. That was a 7-minute match.
Ha!
Chris Jericho and Neville was a 16-minute match. Brock Lesnar defeated Kofi Kingston.
In how long?
2 minutes, 36 seconds.
Oh, stiff.
Finn Balor defeated Kevin Owens for the NXT Championship in a ladder match that I recall being very fucking good.
It's Finn Balor.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, he's surprised.
And he was in Japan.
Yeah.
And then the main event. I'll give you 3 guesses if you can give me
2016?
2016 main event.
Dean?
No.
Okay, any of the Shield guys?
No.
Wow. Cena?
Yes.
AJ?
No.
Corbin?
Nope.
Cena, though.
Cena.
1-on-1?
No, it's a tag team match.
So fuck that. Don't worry
Cena,
about it.
Cena and Dolph Ziggler versus Kane and King Barrett. in a 24-minute tag team match.
End the podcast there.
24 fucking minutes.
End the podcast there. There's no point continuing after that.
What the fuck is this?
We're done.
Oh, it's not a pay-per-view, sorry.
We're done. Oh, there's a reason why it's a special.
No, I know.
It's not going to happen again.
What was the story going into that?
Who wanted it?
I don't know.
Someone's wanted it, obviously. Cena and Dolph team together?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. 2016?
This was,
All
hang
right.
on, what? This must have been just before the brand splits. This was...
Yeah, because Dolph was running a mad face gimmick at the later end of 2016.
Wait, no, 2015. I thought it was 2016.
Oh, well, fuck.
2015. It is 2015. Fuck.
Heel New Day at that time?
I think so.
Yeah, Heel New Day?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it would have been Heel New Day. Fucking weird as. Anyway, that's weird. And we're done. So
there.
you can follow us over at StrayaMania at StrayaMania. Twitter and Facebook is Twitter and Instagram is StrayaMania Pod POD as well. YouTube StrayaMania, Facebook StrayaMania Podcast. Follow me everywhere at Ricki Needs, at RICKINEEDS, and you can follow this sexy man right here at
_ the half-cast prince. What up? On the grams.
On the grams. We're back next week. As always, Michael will be joining us. We assume so.
Who knows?
He had work today. Look, life gets in the way. Shit happens. Anyway, enjoy the week in wrestling. We'll be back next week with, I guess, the fallout from the...
We should... Hopefully next week we begin stories.
Yeah.
Right, we begin stories.
I really hope
that's the
so.
point.
Anyway, also next week, Best of Super Juniors brackets get announced, so I'm looking forward to that because that's going to be fucking awesome. All right, see you next week. Bye!
This is a Heartifact Network podcast. Find us at heartifactstudios.com.au.